Welcome to Volume 11 RockTalk Podcast, brought to you by Volume 11 Music. Your hosts, Rich Hoffa, Rick Lawhorn, and Mark Dunn. RockTalk, Volume 11 Music.
I have a couple I'm going to throw out.
Hey, welcome to Rock Talk at Volume 11 Music in Fredericksburg, Virginia. My name is Rich.
Rick Lawhorn.
Mark Dunn.
Rick Lawhorn.
In the house.
In the house. Well, today we decided to throw you guys a curveball, and we always talk about the bright side of things. We're going to talk about the not so bright side of things. Songs that we don't like.
The dark side.
Songs that we never want to hear again. And maybe an album that we could get rid of for the rest of our life.
Miss a beat.
Oh, I know what yours is.
And then
yeah.
Rick said, let's shoot it off into space. But I'm like, do we want another life form to get that song? I mean, I don't want it coming back, and I don't ever want to hear it again. So,
well, I mean, if we pick the right ones, we might be able to avoid an alien invasion because they might stave them off.
Gosh, they might.
We're not going to
I'm not going there.
Yeah, audible version of a giant skunk butt just roaming out the universe.
I know, seriously, right? So if you're enjoying the video, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, shoot us a comment. What song do you hate the most, or can't stand?
I'm gonna have to think
whatever.
about this one.
So,
Okay.
Because I try not to be a hater.
Yeah.
Right.
No, same here.
well, I'll start it off.
All right, go ahead, because you got it. I know where you're going. So, all right, Rich.
And that's I think it's going to be apropos because we're talking about shooting them off into space.
I know.
Yeah, right. That's right. Then that's
Exactly.
fitting. Rich, you kicked this one.
Well, I've actually got kind of in tune to where I can tune it out because it does come on a series
I always
all
give
the
a hard time here at the store.
And then every time Rick comes walking out, I don't know the song's on because I've tuned it out. And he goes, "Hey, Rich, it's your favorite song." And
It's on,
the,
Rich.
the final countdown. I swear. I mean, if the song comes on the radio, the first thing I do is change the channel. I turn it off. I can't do the song. It just triggers something in me where I don't like the song.
The inner demons.
I never liked it. And I still get flashbacks of when we were selling keyboards in the 80s, and every keyboard player came in and did that. And I'm like, I know.
No, and every guitar player came in and played on the keyboard.
Put the sign up there, the forbidden song. We don't want to hear this ever. No one should ever hear that song.
Right. It should be.
And then they put it on commercials and stuff now, too.
Oh, yeah.
It drives me nuts. I can't get away from it.
Well, that is the idea for a commercial, though. You're associated to the product.
Oh,
Right.
gosh.
Right.
And it has nothing to do with the band. The band's very good.
Yeah.
Very good band, very good musicians.
In all seriousness, I think they're good
my song
musicians.
choice.
John Norm's a guitar player, great guitar player. I mean, he's a fantastic guitar player. But just that song, and maybe, I don't know, like you said, we heard it so much at the old music store there, and it's just in our brains, and we're just like, no!
And we were talking about this earlier, too, that was the first song I ever heard from them. And it was so off-putting to me that I don't know that I know any of their other songs because I wouldn't listen to it.
Yeah. They have other songs?
Yeah, I don't know.
They do have some other good
but
ones.
They
weren't as big hits though.
No,
but
I never.
that just kind of ruined it.
It really ruined it for me.
Yeah.
So I didn't. Well, of course. Yeah.
So we've got Kansas, we got Boston, we got Chicago, and we have Europe.
Yeah.
Alabama,
right?
Learning
our geography.
Black Oak, Arkansas.
Yeah, Black Oak, Arkansas,
right.
right. Just geography.
Yeah,
it's all about geography.
Yeah.
It could be a country, it could be a city.
Man, I'm having a hard time thinking about something.
You want me to?
Yeah, you're next.
All right. So that's good, Rich. So now I have two. Should I do two?
So I don't even know. I don't think you've ever told me. What you can't stand.
I'm not a hater.
I know.
Like we've said in some of the old episodes, back when I was a little kid in the early '70s, I didn't play music, but we'd hear music all the time, all kinds of music. I like just about everything. I really wasn't much like, I don't like that song. I don't like that song.
Right.
But finally, I get into high school about 1983. And I think you guys are going to know this song when I call it out. And this is back in the heyday of MTV. So there's a video. And we have what we call the one-hit wonders. These are these bands that just have that one song. And then you never hear from them again. And maybe they have more. I don't know. But it was the song called The Safety Dance.
Oh, God.
By the Men Without Hats.
Oh, my gosh.
Do you remember that?
You can dance if you want to.
Oh, my
gosh.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah, that was terrible.
But you know the song, because they play them on the radio sometimes, it doesn't irritate me as bad as it used to.
But they do play it occasionally. The Safety Dance.
Yeah.
Men Without Hats. Now, why did that irritate me? Because
it sucked.
Well, it seemed like
and it was a hit,
and it was
that sucked.
And it seemed like the bar was set very low musically.
Right.
On that. I mean, really, most songs.
No, you're right.
There's something cool. Oh, Bee Gees, great harmonies. You know, this song, great vocal. Van Halen, great guitar solo. What is good in the Safety Dance?
Well, at that point though, and I agree with you, by the way, but when MTV hit, that was a money machine for people to start writing songs with a video in mind instead of writing music with a song in mind.
Yeah.
Right.
And that might be a prime example of the absolute suckage that was put forth after that. That's the dumbest thing I've ever...
That is terrible. It's a terrible video.
It would have to get better to suck. I'm insulting
Here's the suck level. And Men Without Hats are here. They can't even get to the suck level.
They couldn't even earn a hat. So you can't get paid enough money with that song to buy a hat. And you're a Men Without a Hat. That's terrible. So I get what you're saying.
This is turning into our Beavis and Butthead episode.
You're right.
And you know what's funny is this is hilarious. So I look at YouTube all the time, and I didn't watch the video. I got to go back and watch it, but it showed Winger on there, and it goes, "Why this band doesn't suck." And I liked Winger. I mean, it didn't change it. Incredible musicians.
There's a story behind that.
But the whole, I think we hit it on one of the other episodes.
With Mike Judge and Kid not really getting along.
I'll show you.
So you buried them on purpose.
Buried them,
Oh my gosh.
But seriously, I mean, when I think back to it, again, I don't know, I was in the 10th grade maybe, and I was starting to play guitar and all that, and halfway decent on a few things. I'm thinking, there's nothing redeeming about this song. There's nothing redeeming about the singer, the vocal line, the vocals, the chord progression.
It's terrible.
It's just a utterly piece of garbage. And it was like a top. I read that it was a top 10 hit. I mean,
really?
Yeah. Yeah, it got into. I'm serious. I'm not joking. It got into the top.
We all
10.
just took a moment of silence for that.
I think I got like number 7 or something back in like early 1983, and I'm like, how can this be? And in all the years we've been playing music, is anybody? Hey man, can y'all do some like Men Without Hats? Can y'all rock some Men Without Hats?
I don't think
Men Without Hats can't even rock Men Without Hats.
I mean, Freebird. We could all be rich for the dollar.
Freebird stays. Freebird does not get
shown. But we get requests for that, but we don't get Men Without Hats Safety Dance. But that would be my song.
Well, you might now that I know about it. I'm gonna yell it out the next cat.
Safety Dance.
Yeah, it's a good thing I got a show on Friday.
That's just like Mark said something about his tip jar. And I was going to write on a napkin, "Don't eat yellow snow." That's my tip.
That's right. And tips spelled backwards is spit. So it all works out.
That's right.
Oh my god. So one I've thought of, I could probably come up with a few now that we're on.
Yeah, we get this thing rolling here.
You've opened up that door to MTV ridiculous.
MTV, 80s MTV.
But I didn't even see this on MTV, and like this was one of those things in high school that my friends everybody was kind of the same, up to 8th grade, and then in 9th grade you started getting your factions of fashion and music.
Right, yeah.
And still everybody's friends. We all came up together.
Yeah.
And all of my friends were like into this band, and I heard it for the first time, and it's Blister in the Sun.
Oh, Blister in the Sun.
That should be drawn and quartered and keel hauled and shot with a 50 millimeter. 50 caliber gun. I mean, that and added up. I mean, I'm like, like the pitch is, that dude's singing things pitch is a soccer field. I mean, it's just pedantic, awful. And I don't even think I saw a video for it.
Yeah.
But every dance I had to go to is like, I'm like, I don't care how hot this girl is. I'm not dancing with her to this song. It was I took that stand on that song.
Right, on Blister.
It was just awful. Yeah. And you know what? I've had to play it, and I have anti-nausea medication for those times. But that's that and and the guys are actually pretty talented. Like the guys in Men Without Hats might have some talent, but the funny thing is I never saw a video for it.
Yeah.
They were kind of like
I don't remember. I remember the song,
Yeah.
but I don't remember it being like on MTV rotation back in the day when all those videos that we would always be seeing.
That and The Cure, Boys Don't Cry. That's another one that could go out. They have so much better stuff, and that's like one of their first hits. I get it.
Yeah.
But my God, it's just like even as a 14-year-old that didn't even know what I was doing playing guitar, I'm like, this song sucks.
This song sucks.
Yeah.
That gets the.
We were Beavis and Butthead.
We were the
before there
original.
was
Yeah,
Beavis
we
and
were.
Butthead. This song is like
We were doing it before Mike Judge had a cartoon.
I'm like going. I mean, do you guys really like this music, or are you doing it? Are you liking it because that chick over there says it's cool?
Right.
Because I understand your point if that's the deal, but just be honest with yourself because this is awful.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I'm sure there's probably more we can come up with. I don't want to be a hater. I just like that. I had a visceral reaction.
Well, no, it's understandable.
Yeah.
It's understandable. I have another one. I'll throw
Final
in.
Countdown. That's the same thing.
Final Countdown.
I can't do
I mean, it's the same thing. But
and I think I can listen to a lot of stuff, but that song, I don't. It's probably. It's way up there as far as like I can get through some songs I dislike.
Okay.
But that one, I
But all seriousness, all jokes aside, is it the keyboard thing because of our you used to hear it a million times, you're sick of it because of that? Is it the Is it this kind of a silly idea?
I just don't. It's all the whole thing about it. I just don't like it. I mean, I think that it to me it sounds more like a movie soundtrack,
right?
And
I go with you on that,
and not a very good one.
Yeah,
it's something I don't want to remember. I mean, it's and for a B movie at that. I mean, it's just. I mean,
not even one of the really good ones.
I don't like the keyboard thing, but I've never been a real fan of keyboards that were that prominent.
Where that's the hook is the keyboard. And
exactly, but I mean, and I do like like if they got a great Hammond B3 player,
Deep Purple or
somebody
like
that.
Cool.
I mean, I love that.
Yeah,
stuff,
Rick Wakeman, or something like that.
Or Boogie Woogie, piano. I love it.
Billy Powell,
things like that. But there's just certain ways of doing things that it just, the song just never. It wasn't. It just didn't hit. I mean, of course, we're listening to 80s rock, and I was into all the 80s stuff, but into like Tower of Power and some jazz stuff, and then the Final Countdown.
Right, throw that in there.
And that was a pretty big hit. Did you say that was top 10?
That was a hit in '86.
Well, I know it was a big hit.
I don't know what it got to as far as tracking, but it was definitely it got a heavy MTV rotation.
Oh, I know.
I remember that back in '86. I think that's when it hit.
I used to kind of, and this is not I grew to like them more because I get what they were doing, but I used to kind of feel that way about Poison. And actually, I felt that way about Kiss as a little kid.
Right.
And I mean, there probably would have been some Kiss songs that I would have said about that, but I've grown to appreciate them a little bit more. My point about both of those bands is that I didn't get the fact that it was entertainment.
Right. Yeah, entertainment and fun.
And so on that level, I reserve the comment. But when I saw Poison look or talk dirty to me, I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But and we talked about that before. It's like when we were talking about
And by the way, I'm going to say that's a great album.
Oh yeah,
it's fun. It's a fun rock. I agree.
But that's what rock and roll was.
It's fun rock and roll. That's cool. I dig it.
And not to mention when you go to the concert, I mean, there's just a lot of stuff going on. It's a show.
Yeah,
it's a full blown show.
Yeah.
And it's just fun. I mean, every time I talk about Kicks all the time, but I mean, gosh, every time I went to, it was like the best party, New Year's, great band, best time of your life. Yeah. Every time you went and seen them.
Party of the year. Anytime
I mean, it was
Kicks.
it was a show beyond. It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Just the show. I mean, it was just fun. And he got, the whole crowd into the show as well. So it wasn't, you were a part of it. It wasn't just watching a band. It was, you're a part of the show. And you're brought into the show, which was a lot of fun, especially when you see them in a small venue.
Yeah.
Like that. It's real intimate.
Were they a Baltimore band or were they a Virginia band?
Well, Hagerstown, Maryland,
they played a lot in Baltimore. So it was a lot of the Bayou in Georgetown, and then Hammerjacks, which is a big rock club in Baltimore. And then a lot of stuff like that, but it was I mean, every time they played, sold out.
Oh yeah.
Everybody knows every lyric to every song they ever written. And it was just a lot of fun.
I'm coming across so many now that are fleeting in my brain. I'm going, man, I'm just gonna come across like a hater if I start.
Yeah, right.
Because I haven't thought about these songs in so
years.
long.
Now they're coming back to you.
Oh my God! And I've done good. Now I'm gonna have to make more therapist appointments. Get them all
I don't have a lot of individual songs other than the one. But I mean, there's like certain bands I don't like. I like a few songs, but I don't care for the rest of their catalog.
Okay.
Right. Queensryche, I bring that up. There's a few songs I really do like by them. Great musicians, very good band.
Concept albums.
Some of the a lot of the other songs I just don't.
It just doesn't connect with you.
It doesn't hit it. I just
And I get that because I'm like that too. Like sometimes maybe I just don't connect with it.
Right.
That's fine. But when I go back to the safety days, that song gets on my nerves.
No,
it's in my brain.
nailed that one.
I mean that really needs to go in the spaceship in outer space.
I bet you there's probably 40 or 50 that we could find in the first 2 or 3 years of MTV that are just absolutely
hideous.
What in the world
what were they
is
thinking?
this nonsense?
Well, we could do an episode on that. We'll find
we could.
the most irritating videos that we could find.
And the funny thing is, when you think about it, and I'm thinking about this real time as a kid, I'm sure you guys were too. Yeah. The VJs had to sell this.
Yeah, this is the hot stuff here.
And I'm like,
hot new video, man.
As soon as that camera pans away, what's his name, Jackson or whatever, was probably going, oh my God, this song's awful.
I know that's 3.5 minutes of my life I'm never going to get back, and I got to play it every day.
It was big money.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Huge money,
right?
But imagine being those VJs, seriously. So watch where I go with this. Like back in the day, they were in the 80s. But these people were around in the 70s, so they knew the good stuff like Pink Floyd and Led Zeppelin and Deep Purple and Queen. They knew the good stuff. Now we've got, you can dance if you want to. You can hey, that's where music's going.
I remember a couple of times, I don't know what the songs were, but coming out of some of those songs, I saw some of the VJs laughing. I know it.
Oh yeah.
And I know
this sucks.
Oh, exactly. Like debuts. And the thing is that means that they probably, there's a good chance they probably hadn't even heard it or seen it before they saw it then.
Right.
But you would think they would have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like I know that's what it had to have been.
Oh, it had to have been.
What about the hairstyles?
Oh, yeah, there are a lot of interesting hairstyles.
Flock of seagulls.
Flock of seagulls.
With that big comb thing over that went like this. I mean,
that was it.
I seen one of those recently.
Really?
Within the last couple of years.
In Virginia?
Yeah.
Wow.
I almost
Did you run?
I almost went,
he ran so far away.
They actually have another song. It's something love song. It's a really good song.
Yeah.
But I Ran was awful.
Well, here's one I'm going to put in that spaceship too. How about We Built This City on Rock and Roll?
Right.
How about that?
Rock Me Tonight.
Okay, Billy Squier one.
Another awful video.
The video was hideous.
Oh my God. And and that's again, you were dialing in on stuff that's the video generation.
Right.
Yeah.
So even the video didn't do a dang thing to help out with that.
It didn't.
But but what was cool about that is in the video era, you knew what music somebody was in by the way they dressed.
Oh, 100%.
Nowadays it doesn't.
You can't. No.
It's like when I opened up the store and I had this this little one of Rick's students. He's really small, clean cut. Comes in with his he's dressed really nice, and man, he's into some heavy metal.
Yeah,
I mean,
there's a bit of a dichotomy going on there.
He would come on of these. Have you heard of this band? I'm like, no, and he kept. Let's tune it down lower and lower and lower.
Tuned to drop H.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, where
the lowest letter of the alphabet.
Where did you come up with all this stuff?
You're
a clean cut kid, and you're into this
skull crushing metal.
I'd hate to look into his freezer and see what's back there.
I know.
That's why he needs to listen to We Built This.
Oh, so even they admit that was awful.
Oh, it was terrible.
Yeah, they're like that. When the band jumps their own shark, it's awful.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They did, man. They turned on themselves, Like, boy, we're putting out some rubbish.
Look up the reference, Jump the Shark. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But they jumped their own shark on that one. That was so terrible. I mean, but I will say this in a serious moment in this kind of funny discussion, that the songs that we're talking about, so far, all of them have nursery rhyme-ish melodic content.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is a nursery rhyme is called a nursery rhyme because babies can learn it.
Yeah, right.
And so when you hear something that is an insult to the earlobes before they even enter the tympanic membrane, you know you've got problems.
Yeah.
So we better make a video.
Yeah.
And it was like, it was all about some sort of, it kind of coalesces around the video age. But these songs, without a video, I guarantee you would have never.
They're laughably
They would
bad.
have never been recorded.
Yeah.
Because as soon as back then somebody comes up with a riff, the video for this is going to be sick.
Man.
We don't even have a verse. Doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
That's what it was all
Hey
about.
guys, we can really build this city on rock and roll. Come on. Do you feel it? I can see some executive in New York.
For real.
Say it. I'm being
Clive
serious.
Davis is who I was thinking.
Yeah, Clive Davis. That's right,
Yeah.
Clive Davis.
Yeah, but,
This city's got to be built
Oh God.
on rock and roll, guys.
I mean, the Twisted Sister videos, those songs are, I mean, Dee Snider's a fantastically talented guy. But those songs were about the video.
Yeah,
but the videos were great.
They were. I enjoyed the videos.
Salvaged the song, but I guarantee you, I Wanna Rock would not have been a hit without the video.
Right,
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
I did get to see them in concert in their heyday.
I opened for
And
him.
did you
You
really?
did? I didn't know that.
Oh wow,
Cool.
Yep.
And I tell you what, it was one of the best concerts I went to. I mean, just
Oh yeah,
just
they
because
were there. They were real.
You know, it was great. I mean, I think they had everything was like a city type of thing.
Built this.
Yeah, it was a city thing.
On rock and
It was
roll,
funny because
baby.
the drummer comes out of a garage door opens up and the drummer comes out, and then Dee Snider comes out of a manhole cover on the bottom of on the floor of the stage
Wearing lingerie shoulder pads.
Yeah, exactly.
With pink frill.
I know. God, they were.
He would run behind the what do you call those scrims? Those things that stand up that look like something, but they're just cloth. And I'm not speaking ill. The dude's got curly hair, and every other song when the guitar solo he'd be back there just spraying it down, coming out and doing it. I'm like, dude, really?
He's an endorsement.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but he was great entertainer.
Back in the hairspray.
days.
Literally.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Really.
Yeah.
Sponsored by Aquanet.
I know, man.
Were they headlining or were they opening?
They were headlining, and I
Where
think it was at the Capitol Center. And I think Dokken opened up.
I didn't know that they had a headlining tour that big.
I honestly
think
didn't.
they did.
But
Yeah, it was Dokken and Twisted Sister.
Okay.
Dokken opened for Twisted Sister.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dream Warriors is another one that could be shot out because that was made for the movie.
Yeah, the movie.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Sorry, George. Terrible. Terrible song. Terrible.
Yeah, not one I'd play a whole lot of.
It is Charles Barkley terrible.
Terrible.
Oh my God. I got a funny hairspray story. I just thought about.
Uh-oh.
So I moved out. I was living in this band house, and my roommate. I mean, that dude. I mean, you want to talk about hair. Aquanet. I mean, just.
Aquanet.
I mean, he could go out in a hurricane and that hair would not move at all.
Not moving.
So I go, it's one bathroom, and so I go in there and I'm like walking in there, I get out of the shower, and I'm walking, I'm like stuck to the floor, and I look down, and there was a brown ring, like a half horseshoe,
just from
like
the
this
overspray.
in front of the hair, and I was like, from all the. Yeah. And I'm like, I go, dude, you gotta mop that crap up. It's disgusting.
The hole in the ozone is directly over that
right.
address.
Oh my gosh, we're gonna get cancer from all the hairspray you're using.
The hairspray.
Oh my gosh, it was hilarious.
Well, I mean, and that's what it was. I mean, you could look at some other bands that were coming over from Britain at the time, where there was the origin of ska. You had bands like Madness,
House, and the middle of the street.
But I actually kind of liked them.
Some of the stuff was kind of cool, like
had a good hook to it.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't like terrible on that. It was again, I keep going with that Safety Dance song, but I mean that one, because at least with the Madness one, there does seem to be some interesting little for a pop song. Little ditties in there.
No, I mean it was well produced. I mean it was in synth pop and it was cool, but it had some. It wasn't just a nursery rhyme,
right?
And so, but some of those ones, most of the ones we talked about tonight,
are
are nursery childish,
right?
Easy, just and again, I'm not slamming somebody's art, I guess, because I mean, you could take the same melody and do something different with it. But I mean, ironically, what we're talking about is mostly these songs that were written with a video in mind.
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, and the Buggles were very
the video
prophetic.
Yeah.
Killed the radio star.
First song ever played on MTV.
That was, yeah.
And there you go.
Yeah, they were right.
So that leaves us. What song could you do without?
Put it in a spaceship. Shoot it into outer space.
Put it in the comments.
Never to be seen again.
Let us know. So.
One last one.
Yeah.
Steal My Sunshine. That stupid thing, Lynn. L-I-N was the name of the band. 2001 or 2002. It sounds like a car with a timing chain broke. It's like how? What is some? It's like it's a record skipping to the same. It's like I don't even think anybody could play that.
No.
I'm not good enough to play that awful.
Yeah, to play that bad. You know
what song I'm talking about?
I've heard it. Yeah, I do.
Or maybe they needed some Volume 11 music coffee to perk it up.
You know what they need? Nothing, because that shouldn't exist. That song should be gone. I heard it on a commercial recently.
Oh, really?
Yes, and I had a visceral reaction like you do to Final Countdown. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Are you kidding? What is this?
They're getting paid on this thing again?
Yeah.
Oh, and how bizarre. I could do without ever hearing that one again.
Which was it?
Oh, God, I can't even tell you what the name of the act was, but how bizarre. Dude's rap.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like, what?
Yeah.
What? Yeah, I'm starting to have a...
Now I've really kind of triggered the memories.
I know, man. You're having a meltdown.
Yeah, songs that need to go. They need to go.
He's going to be driving down the road.
Look, no students tomorrow. I'm going to be in therapy.
Therapy day for Mark.
Taking a sedative.
This is great.
Getting some sleep.
More done than my last name. I can't do it.
We triggered Mark.
God.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, it's funny. Couldn't think of anything to talk about.
Now
all of a sudden, boom!
See,
it opens it up. The wounds.
The ball is rolling.
Just when you think you're out, they pull you back in.
God. Well, I think that wraps up this episode of Rock Talk. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like the video, share the video, and let us know who the band or song that you
forgot
really
to say
hate.
hello to our viewer in Europe.
Europe. Oh my gosh.
You can dance if you want to.
Oh my gosh. So where are you guys playing at this weekend?
So Saturday I'll be at the Fredericksburg Moose with Cactus Jack. We're going to actually work up a whole set of these songs. We're going to do the safety dance. Maybe at the Moose Lodge.
Oh my gosh!
We probably won't do that. But Saturday, 8 o'clock.
Moose without hats.
Moose without. That's in my tribute band. Moose without hats. We'll play at the Moose Lodge doing Men Without Hats.
We didn't even bring up Kaja Gugu.
Oh my God, Kaja Gugu.
Yeah, I can't even know how to pronounce it.
Shy. Now that's terrible. I even know that song, but that's actually not a bad song.
That's because it would beat in your head. With all the MTV waiting for a good song.
That was definitely an MTV song.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh gosh.
Thompson Twins.
They were good.
Yeah, but they were that same kind of, that era.
Right,
yeah, but they were better than a lot of the ones we've been talking about.
Sorry, I didn't mean to derail your game.
So we're gonna work up a Men Without Hats tribute there. Moose Without Hats.
All
right, Mark.
I'm in Florida this weekend.
Florida.
Wow.
Florida. Yep.
All right.
So
cool.
What part of Florida?
Yeah,
all over, man. Because I'm actually not here right now.
Yeah, I got it.
All right.
So Jacksonville, and then we're gonna head down to Cape Coral and Bradenton and Clearwater, and then up to Brunswick, Georgia, and then back to Jacksonville to come home.
Cool.
Wow. Awesome.
Cool deal. Well, I'll be doing what I always do.
Yep.
Trying to figure out how to get more sales on volume11music.com. So check out the website. And,
check it out.
I think that wraps up this episode of Rock Talk.
Number 42.
Yeah,
Number 42.
If we went backwards, it would be the final countdown.
Peace, everybody. Have a good one.
This has been an episode of Volume 11 Rock Talk Podcast, brought to you by Volume 11 Music.